Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Tidwell Taste Tour. As you can see, I'm all by my lonesome tonight, so I hope I can keep it interesting and entertaining for you guys. What we've got here tonight is a wine. This is the Cloudbreak Chardonnay. It's barrel fermented and it's from California. And the description reads, "From the last rains of winter to the flowering of spring vines, nothing is as exciting as the cycle of the vineyard and the promise of new wine. This year's near-perfect combination of long warm days and cool evenings produced a gorgeous wine with ripe, concentrated fruit flavors, a rich texture, and great length. Vinted and bottled by Cloudbreak Wines, Parlier, California, 12.5% alcohol by volume, and this is the 2010 vintage." Now, I've previously opened it just to let it breathe for a few minutes before we taste test it, just to get the best flavors out of the wine. Pretty much just a little bit of information about Chardonnay for you guys before we get started. And basically, Chardonnay is a green-skinned grape variety. It is, and it obviously produces white wines. It has originated in the Burgundy, did originate in the Burgundy growing region in France, but now it's pretty much grown throughout the world. It's known as pretty much a starter wine, an easy wine to, and an essential wine to start winemaking with. It is very adaptive to different climatic and geographical regions, soil conditions, things like that. So pretty much it is one of the easy entry wines to begin making. The Chardonnay grape itself is actually quite flavorless. It's quite a neutral grape. Basically where you get the flavor in a Chardonnay is from two separate things. The one thing is, as we just discussed, the geographical location, the soil conditions in that location, the climate in that location. From year to year they change as far as that goes, and so that's one thing. The other thing is how it's aged. You can age it in stainless steel vats, or you can age it in oak barrels. The oak barrels obviously impart a more oaky, woody taste. The stainless steel a more neutral, crisper taste. This wine here, as many Chardonnays do, went through a process called malolactic fermentation. Basically, simply, malolactic fermentation is secondary fermentation. The goal of this fermentation by the winemaker is to take the harsh malic acid, convert it into lactic acid, which is softer, and that will produce, in Chardonnays, if anybody's has drank them before, if you drink a higher end one especially, you'll know, a lot of them have a real rich, buttery flavor. That buttery flavor comes from malolactic fermentation. So, let's get started. Chardonnays are an essential grape, particularly for sparkling wines and champagne stuff from France or from elsewhere, really. Chardonnay is one of the main grapes in that. Yeah, man. This bottle, at least in Northern Virginia, retails for $7.99 at Total Wine & More stores. And it drinks like a wine at a much higher price than that. It's got great buttery, oaky notes. It's a really rich, yet very light Chardonnay. It's crisp, yet oaky, which is a great combination. Really, really good Chardonnay. If I was pairing food with this, I'd say poultry, pork, maybe some really heavy cream dishes, fettuccine alfredos and things like that would probably be appropriate due to the oak. I would probably steer clear from seafood, but you know, to each their own. 9.0 will be my rating on this wine. It's got every bit of oaky butteriness from a more expensive Chardonnay, and it tastes very refined. It doesn't taste cheap or fake. I really like the flavor of it, and yeah, 9.0 for the Cloudbreak. I know in Northern Virginia, and I think in the rest of the country, if you go to a Total Wine & More store, they will sell this variety of wine. Check out the Cloudbreak Chardonnay, 9.0 rating for me, a really, really fantastic bargain wine. You can find it for $7.99 at the very least in Northern Virginia. So, Tidwell Taste will be back with more wines, teas, beers, whatever it may be. So we hope you stick around and join us, and hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.